Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dialogues with Remarkable Souls. This is the fourth of 5 interviews in this series. And as you know, we have the fabulous, infamous, like in infamous, Grace Halm from another universe. I don't know quite what universe, but she is definitely not from here. She's definitely off planet. And she likes to laugh a lot. So, for those of you that are new to Grace, I will briefly read her cosmic bio here, and then we'll get started. So, Grace G. Halm. What's the G stand for, Grace?
Grace stands for Jiokien,
Ah,
my middle name.
and she's a light body whisperer. That means she whispers a lot. And light language activator, has over 20 years of combined experience in healthcare and alternative healing. She incorporates science, spirituality, and intuition to facilitate her clients to transform health, financial, and relationship issues. Her gentle presence, profound intuition, and powerful activations often awaken the intuitive gifts and light language abilities in others. Making her a much sought after mentor and teacher to light workers and way showers like you folks, the way showers. Grace is internationally known for her innovative energy work with eyesight, teeth, body pain, meridian imbalances, and reprinting states of resourcefulness that activates generative energies in the body. She works with One Divine's blueprint to facilitate the body to remember its own natural state of health and wholeness. Her clients often laugh and yawn to release lifetimes of trauma during their sessions. Yes, Grace is known as the yawner. I just made up that word. They also feel lighter and more joyous. Grace holds sacred space for others to heal experiences of early childhood abuse, chronic illnesses, and poverty consciousness. While no stranger to struggle and illness, Grace has healed herself of autoimmune disorders, depression, a lifelong struggle with self acceptance, powerlessness, and poverty consciousness. Sounds like us. Grace delights in dream tending and vision holding for a new earth filled with peace, joy, and abundance for all. She invites all dreamers, vision holders, healers, shamans, earth keepers, grid workers to this expansive alternative, this expansive adventure by joining her weekly podcast, Light Body Whisperer. So let's welcome Grace to our interview. And Grace is going to talk about, I hope, although, she can wander around a bit in the universe, talk about how we can move through these profound and intense earth changes while holding our light and our connection to source and our spiritual path. And Grace can also bring in other levels regarding this theme. So, Grace, welcome to the interview, and the floor is all yours.
Kenji, thank you. Thank you so much. And well, I just want to first acknowledge you and all the awesome work you've been doing because you're like one of the first rock stars and the first Asian face I saw on Tele Summit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like when I can't decide what kind of hangover can I handle, I'm like, Okay, forget vodka today. I'll just watch Kenji's stuff, and then I'll just have a different kind of hangover that I can deal with. And then I get knocked out and deal with a Kenji hangover.
That's a good one. Hungover from the
I
call. I
know,
like
vodka hangover or Kenji's. So I think I hope that's like a movement towards a more enlightened way of being.
that.
Or sake, right?
I like that.
Sake, vodka, well, Kenji's work. They all knock you out in the same way, you guys. I'm not sure if that's a good way to put it, but that's the effect your work has on me. And you're one of the first, Asian faces I get to see. So you inspire, like a whole new generation of people like myself, because it often takes seeing someone kind of like yourself. I mean, like, just because we're Asian doesn't mean like we're the same Asian. We're different Asian, but still, you know what I mean. It takes seeing someone else similar to yourself to give you the inspiration that this is possible, that someone did it. So I just want to acknowledge your profound influence to all those of us who are doing alternative healing work, and especially those in the Asian community. Because I know how when I start this work, I'm sure everyone in our families is like, what the F is she up to now? And I know that in your own life, you probably have to put up with a lot of people looking at you and like, what the F is he up to now? And you have to put up with so much of that before you get to be where you're at, right?
Oh, speaking of that, if my
Different kind
relatives
of a
were,
person to be able to put up with people looking at you saying, what the F?
that brings up a thought. If my extended family, aunts and uncles, cousins and nephews, etc., if they were to see me on this show with you, with like a Japanese with a Chinese, I don't know what they would
What the
think.
F?
Yeah, yeah. So I got to tell you, I had a thought yesterday about shows like this and what we're doing on a cultural level, multi-generational level, because the Japanese and Chinese, they've hated each other for a long time. World War I, and even before that, never got along. And my parents used to say they don't like Chinese and they don't like Filipinos and they don't get along and don't hang out with them and all that. So what we're doing tonight, Grace, is we're healing that division. So the world is at least energetically experiencing the coming together of Chinese and Japanese. And so I just wanted to share that.
Well, we hope we're making some difference. Well, they would all look at us and be like, those two are not normal anyway. Don't ever be like them. And
That's right.
we may have create more of the rift between them. You never know. Yes, so navigating through all these changes, I was thinking,
Grace,
we
can you turn up your volume a little bit or
yes,
get
can
closer to your mic?
get closer to my mic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm already very close to my mic. Okay.
Hmm. You're a little bit low in volume to me, and I've got my volume all the way up.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, something in this world decided you don't need to hear me. It's
And
decided from somewhere that you don't need to hear me.
okay, you're a little bit better.
Seen but not heard. It's probably your ancestor be like, don't listen to her. Just stop it. We're turning your volume down. You don't need to listen to her. It's better to go back and take your vodka. So for those of you who are not driving, I hope no one's actually driving. um, I thought about quickly going through all eight. It's actually nine, but the Bagua, the spatial representation of different parts of your life, kind of like in Western astrology, where you have the 12 houses. In the Chinese um, astrology and feng shui, we use what's called a bagua, which actually means eight sectors, but there's actually nine because the middle is you and it counts. But of course, Chinese people, we don't ever think that we count. So that's why we miscounted, even though we're good at math and say it's eight when it's nine. I'm going to get disowned for saying that about my culture now. They can't count. And so I thought it would be fun to go through the Bagua and to reset every sector of your life, every part of your life, so that you are ready for dealing with the upcoming energies. Because I love what epigenetics says. Epigenetics says the environment, the energy of the environment affects the genetic expression. So the Bagua is the environment, the epigenetics. When the epigenetics, the whole ecosystem of you changes, or the morphic field of you changes, then you change. Yeah. So yeah, how about that? So does that sound good for me to do, to just activate the whole Bagua for 5D?
That sounds good.
Sound good? Oh, good. I'm so glad. You are so chill already. Are you really sneaky some sake in between?
Pearl sake.
Oh, getting fancy with your sake, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good. So the first sector of the Bagua is the water element, and the first sector is the one part I'm going to spend some time on, because it's your calling, right? It's your career and calling. I know that this time, many, well, all of you are way showers, grid workers, visionaries, every single one of you, you are already called to show what else is possible, to anchor the new earth in 5D. So this sector of the Bagua is a water element, which is a kidney and bladder. So if you have kidney and bladder issues, so let me just spend a moment here to activate that Bagua sector for you. Oh. And I forgot to get everybody ready because I was so busy laughing that I forgot you all need to be grounded. But I'm sure you already know because you've been around Kenji or me, so you already know to just be grounded however you feel grounded. And I invite you all to take, um, just bring your awareness to your breath. And let's call in the angels and guides that are working with each and every one of us, and especially the angels and guides that work with the epigenetics and the DNA of us, and activating our super DNA strands. And isn't it funny that some people actually think we have junk DNA when it's just our super DNA that they can't recognize because they don't allow themselves to see the spiritual, so then they see the junk. Perception, right? Perception is everything. Okay. I can tell the sake in your water. As well, I'm working with kidney and bladder meridian, Kenji.
Grace is out of control already.
So all bladder kidney issues, and because it's a water element, it's actually about wisdom, right? The deep knowing, the deep ocean of knowing that you all come with, is now the time for you to share that with the world. And where is that blocked, right? Because all of you have a higher calling, and your career is that you are here to be a way shower, to be a catalyst for change, to be the vision holder, to anchor the vision of a beautiful new earth. Oh. Then I'm just going to ask the Larians to help me deliver the light language that would allow some of you or all of you to unlock this higher calling in your life. Chamu uchika mokatis kokasha. Kimorakshish makore chikatora tachikika. It's totally safe for you to fulfill your vision on earth for the planet and for yourself. Nakshokana shimiko rejka amorakshisha ko kanachi tuparikata kano katu kanishiko karigatishi. And who you imagine you can be, you totally now have permission to be. No kashino shinako, atonatu mishikoto natu kishkato, tichikano, tichikato, tichikato, ichkatore, nashomakore, nakshikatora, katatika. The lifetimes of wisdom you have accrued, now is the time to share it with the world so that you help humanity evolve forward with total ease. Kanchuni shumokorata no kotishimo rishika kumarishika. Amorako shikori turishko isho shikamari kikonika. Koniachimo karashiko keka matukatka rakashimo hekmarkatika kumakatishka kokarika imariko kamashiko karu shikika koka. Kumakishoko ne ishi mako are kumachi kumakta konachitama rikaka tatura kumashikura tintiwarkati shikako. Marini shumari tanokati shikatore chitukaka, and you have exactly what it takes to fulfill your highest purpose on earth, to answer your calling, and to anchor the beautiful earth, doing your part, whatever your part may be. You can know that now. Shamalakumeshikubaka shimukatota kaki purkaki kumakara tinoa tinore kon mashakura chinekokana shiko kakaka poriko chishika kumaka kakumashikika ko kanakatwanishka kaka. Hamarikuki, Kinoshiko Kara Shiko Kino Shiko Parka, Hanokacho Patel Shikotka. And your angels and guides are here to support you to fulfill your life purpose, your calling. Porachoshi, Poria Shuga, Shumarashi, Shimoshike, Arakamashi, Tumariko, Picho Kana, Shinakota, Shinakoto, Shinakotore, Shinatike. Shinatukeka, Shinakoto, Shikokumaki. Good. So now we're going to move to Bagua 2. Sector 2 is about love and partnership. So any kind of partnership, and it's a earth element, Bagua. So earth element is your stomach and spleen meridian. And I always throw in there pancreas because it's closely related, even though the pancreas is not a meridian. So what would it take for you to attract the right partnerships that would allow you to be in 5D with total ease? So maybe it's your 5D partner. So if you haven't found a partner yet, you guys, maybe it's because you both need to be in a space where you are in the 5D place to have your partner with you. So let's tune into that and expand the energy of receiving so that you're able to receive from others, because you guys are good at being givers. All of you are amazing givers because as healers and teachers and coaches, You are all givers. You are always looking after others. So now it's your turn to receive. Shamala shimaka kumata tomataka. Maturakika. Maturakika kanokate shikokati shikoka. So any hidden loyalties to family that create you to only be able to receive a little bit. We're going to just thank our ancestors for that and expand our receiving. Machomare shiko kina shikota ramatur chika tumar chika. Arachiko renishika mar ketwarishika. Shanola kumishika kumalakishka moshikatari tutmar katkika. Kushinaku kanakachishinaku rishka kumishika. La kunatina tumari tunushikiko kanashikatar katka. Porashashima karakjotishika. La koshiki mori morichiki moshikaku. Moshi mala konashita chinatatu nachikar, freeing you to receive so that you expand with total ease into the 5D. Shamala, Shamakotwi Shiko Shikakar Kadita, Natu Shaka Kanati Kote no Shaka Natu Shikanishika. Good. Now we're going to move to Bagua 3. That's family and community. And it's a wood element. Bagua wood is the energy of the visionary, right? The visionary, the innovator, the pioneer. And in your families, you are all pioneers. We are all pioneers, and that we're all moving into 5D. We are the way showers, right? So, and we are also family. We are the community we've been looking for. So let's celebrate all of us being attracting the right people in the community to support you to expand your sphere of influence and be able to work on grounding your vision in a very grounded way, right? Because spring, the trees coming up, flowers coming up. So it's like really adding grounding and so that you can move upward. And as you move upward, you need to have roots that are grounded in support. So let's send in the energy of support for all of you to be able to ground and work on your vision in this life. Shimona shimaka kushmaka shimola shamaka. Amake shogorari no shika marishka goge. Amarishka goge kakmo shikatish matoch nakatoch kata. Koratori kamashako sheshishimakore tichka. Lakoshi shishimako kamashiki kamakotari kachika. Shimolatuni shika kumalatika kumalashashkumashka kore kege. Hamarako shimakati tumakati torikati. And don't forget, community here includes your galactic community, right? For those of you who we are all star seeds, so you know you have your galactic councils, you have other star seeds, you have the angelic realm, you have the elementals, you have quite the community of supporters, and they just want you to know that they are there for you. Narusha shamatun matakar, narusha tutiti shika, pakotit markati shika, chinaraka kanwaka, shimakaki kumarshkako, rinishkaku, hamorashinuka, go kanakatoris katkana ishkaki, rakrakakara, shinakoti shkatkara, kanakachkaka. So now we're ready to move into the next Bagua. Bagua 4 is wealth, prosperity, and self-worth, right? It's still wood element. So again, wood element is also about the energy of anger, and you need an anger is an energy. So it's good to be able to work with this energy in a very grounded way. And anger allows you to have fast acting energy that sets the boundaries because you need to have boundaries with your time, with your energy, with your space, so that you can create, right? Just like when a gardener plants seeds, you have to set boundaries around those seeds so that they're not eaten up by squirrels and birds and what have you. So, what boundary, what your time, what your energy, what your space, what your thoughts do you need to create so that you can see your vision planted and grown and become the oak tree, the entelechy of you. So connect to the entelechy of you, the oak tree of you. Shamuna shokote shamasha shumatu shiko shika shika shuka kiko kasho karakachi, because that's your real connection to your wealth, your prosperity, and your sense of self-worth. Nan chumako shakanumatu shakaneshikotor rechikator, nachukator chanotuti shikokoti chikoka. In any sense that you're not worthy, so let's bring in any and all thoughts that are contradictory to feeling self-worth, high self-regard, high self-esteem. And let's put it in this vortex and let's take it all up to the light. I know that you're drinking your vodka, like all self-sabotaging habits. Let's give it up to the light.
Oh boy.
Perfect timing. At least you got perfect timing. So release all self-sabotaging habits to the light, to the light, to the light. Oh God, I can be doing that all day with mine. Release all that to the light, release all that to the light. Any self-betrayal, self-sabotage, procrastination. Release all that to the light now. Oh, to the light, to the light. Let it leave a total ease. Shift your energy to 5D. Como 14 nishko kana 14 nishko kana kotobare kana te ko reta ko getka. Tika ko ko retiko shita te dotika te notikota chikaka. Good. So what else does health, wealth, prosperity, self-worth bring up for all of you that you think you just can't change? Whatever you think you just can't change, well, just take it up to the light anyway and let it be changed. If you could change anything, what do you think you need to change in order for you to be able to totally ground your vision? Whew. That was quite the bog wall to work with. All right. So we're going to go to bog wall 5, which is Earth Meridian. So health and good fortune. And Earth is, again, stomach, spleen, and I'm going to include pancreas. And I'm going to include here the mesentery. That's the band of tissue around your lower abdomen, and is considered a new organ. It was discovered or named and officially declared a new organ in 2018. So let's see how to move the space into 5D for you. Shimarashi, shimarashi. So in that space of your abdomen, especially the mesentery and your enteric nervous system, there we hold a lot of memories of shame, pain. all the self-judgment, all the judgments that's been projected at you, right? So let's clear that from that space and from all spaces, from every cell in your body, or the cellular space, spacious interstitial fluid and physical body, mental body, spiritual bodies, emotional body. Hamarako shikako marashikaka mashako kanakota shimokako kumashaka kumakako shikuya kumokatora neshikaka paro techi kumokatu kamashako kato chitaka chimnaka chindakato cheka. Anything and everything you think you just can't stomach. Anything about this reality you can't stomach. I mean, geez, that's a lot. Maybe just everything in your life you can't stomach. Forget about this reality because we're going to be here for several years cleaning up this reality. Oh, God. Okay, forget that. We're going to have to just move back to cleaning that up in your own lives. Shamarashuna shishimakata mishikoti shikoka kakamashikika. Shishishama shishamako kakimako shikako mashikika. I like how you spell mesentery. It almost looks like mystery organ instead of mesentery organ. Okay, so for those of you who have a mystery organ that needs cleaning up, if you have a mystery organ that's holding on to all this stuff, that's all right. You go with what feels right for you. Let's clear up your mystery organs, people. Because you guys are such a mystery, but it's okay to be comfortable in a mystery too. So everything that's been holding you back, let's clear that. All the projections, all the thought forms, all the belief systems that no longer serve you. Kanakashi, kanakato, tanatoshiki, anatushika, komashiko, kanakoshi, shanatoka, tanatiki, tanataki. And all the Arcturians are here now to help us take these things up to the light. All the Pleiadians, thank you. All the Syrians, thank you. All the Lyrians, thank you, thank you, thank you. So many different galactic families and light beings are here for us today. Wow. You guys are amazing. Kamashaku, kamashaku, kanartitikota, tinatukwatikato, chinashaka, tamashika, betatati, matako, chitupwa, richitupwa, dora, ratitishishi, shishishimakatu, chitaka, ratikajishishimaka. To be comfortable with the mystery is a huge thing, right? Yeah. Being comfortable with the mystery of things allows us to clear, release any fear, because if we embrace the mystery, the fears we have will just soften out. Shamato shimaka nishika, kumarashika no keka, tamarachichka, tamarachika to rata karayishika neko, kanekoto ratatuashka, kinokato tinatotenshika, kortishka, kortishka. Some people have mystery organs and some people have mystery symptoms and mystery diagnosis. Any of those, if you're ready to give it up, good. So now the very center of your bog wall is feeling so good, and it's the center of your being, stomach, spleen. Mesentery, enteric nervous system. And when I'm taking care of the enteric nervous system, I'm going to just do the vagus nerve as well. So let's see what does your vagus nerve require right now. Ichimano Hanagote Matu Kika Kumata Katish Katko Tatoshika Kanokte Tonatiche Kanoshikata Rikata Mikuta Rikatoti Shikato Neshika Konakati Shikako Mishkaka Mishimato rich kato, rich kato, rich kato, go kanish kato. Good. So now that feels like it's in a good place. And we can go to the sixth fog wall, which is helpful people like mentors, spirituality, travel. It's a metal element. And here, how all this ties in is that the travel it speaks about is not only travel in the world, but the traveling that from the head to your heart, the trip from your head to your heart. You want mentors who support you to connect with your own heart. So as you travel in the world, you are reminded of that journey from your head to your heart. Metal element is the long and large intestine meridian and is associated with the alchemist, transforming dross into gold or transforming, you know, emotions that have been blocking you into inspiration, into joy, into what you would like. So the lower emotions being transformed into higher emotions. It's like the fertilizer that's required to flower and bear fruit, you know? That's a huge transformation. And tapping into that space, that bagua in your life. Oh, Shamashako shikani shikato rata kata kanakati to katotka kuka kaki katatoto to chishi shishimako hinatiko shikako mishkaka lakoshiko kamashiko kanaki shikato pa kaditika korachiko shikanato timashaka to markika korachiko mashaka rino tinora kaikimokachiko kanakato ranaziko kanakato mishkaku natikaki Lachinato Tineshika Tinawatikushika Chinokatushina Kotor Ratikatishika Kituka Inagotika Atanashimata Tinokator Shikotar Katka Kumakator Retinishikator Shita Mashikator Retinishika Koratka Kanakatish Kaka Karaskomar Tikatika Harakari Kaneshiki Komashiko Kaneshika Hamamako Kishka, Hamakokarika. And take a deep breath and just feed whatever inspires you. Breathe into that dream that inspires you right now and give it oxygen. Give it wings. Give it the love and light of the divine. And note that nothing can stop you now because being an alchemist is how you're wired. Good. Very good. So now we're ready to move to the next fog wall, which is still metal elements. So we're still working with the archetypal energy of the alchemist, the long and large intestine meridian. And this is about children, creativity, and completion, right? And how all that's related is that, well, children represent the highest form of creativity. You create a human being, right? And completion, it's that a child is the completed act between a man and a woman. And we can play with this differently. So you can play with the divine to co-create something. You are a co-creator. And whatever you choose to bring to completion, you now have the energy to do that. Because creation has a masculine and feminine energy. Think of the positive end and the negative end of a battery, right? It needs to be hooked up for it to run. So whatever it is that you need to hook up to for the co-creations to happen, let's hook into the divine as well as support from Mother Earth. Yeah, Father God, Mother Earth, and let that support you to bring all your creations to the planet. Many of you put your creations in a different system. The moment you think about them, you place them in a different planetary system instead of planet Earth. But now it's safe for you to bring to planet Earth. And I wonder how many people resonate with that you have so many plans and then suddenly you forget as soon as you're done planning, because habitually you put them on a different uh, galaxy where your home was so that it's safe, right? Because it didn't always feel safe to plan your creations on planet Earth. Yeah. So let's bring all that back to planet Earth. And we have Mother Earth's permission. Let's send Mother Earth some loving energy so that she's ready to accept our creations. And thank you, Father God, for allowing this to. Oh, yeah, manifestation, actualization is a downward energy. So let's bring it down. Shanashiko, shanashiko, just like breathing oxygen in and bringing it in to every element of creation that you choose to bring to this earth. Good. Oh, I can feel just the grounding energy that you all have at this moment. That's beautiful. Good. Good, good, good. So, Bhagwat 8 is about wisdom, self knowledge, and rest. So, after you go through the creation cycle, sometimes you need to come to this space where you need to just take a rest to let things grow on their own, right? And let things have wings on their own and all that and flower on their own. And it's an earth element because Mother Earth, the earth element of you can hold things. An earth element in our body is a stomach, which can hold things, spleen, and then mesentery. I'm going to put in with the earth element too. So sometimes we need to hold things in the earth before it gets created or while it's being created, because earth is creation and incubation, right? Everything needs to have its own incubation period. So we expect rest, relaxation, incubation. Yes. And this requires us to trust the effort we made is enough, that you're enough. The effort you made is totally enough. Tamakatoshi shishimakuke, tamarakushi nakotoshi 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 nakotoshi. And now, after a period of rest from the earth, we can rise again like the phoenix. And that brings us to the ninth sector of the Bhagavad, the last one, which is about our fame, reputation, and our social life, right? Because after rest, now we can rise like the phoenix and let the fire of our creation be part of the world and expand your influence. Shakumare shikamara kakumishika. Kamakoka kanashiko kanakotish kakako kako katinishka. Kisho mahti shinakotoa karo kicho para tinatoka kanachiki komashika. Arakanashka aratnakato. Nakonakatatinishka. Like Prometheus, your Promethean ideas will set humanity on fire. So accept that you too have it in you, the Promethean ideas that will set the world on fire. And many, many blessings, everybody, for being here, for being the way showers that you are, for being the awesome people that you are, and for bringing your gifts to the world at this time and setting the world on fire in a good way. Not the uncontrollable kind that burns everything, just the good kind, just the metaphoric kind.
Grace, would you like to take some questions or sharings?
Sure. Let me do my vodka first.
Okay. Hey, all you recommend to get pearl sake. It's
Oh yeah, I love.
really nice tasting stuff.
All right.
People are posting in the chat.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to take questions if you like.
We
Hi,
have
Grace.
Hello.
It's June.
June, hello. Hello, beautiful.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for inviting me tonight. It's always a delight and a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for being here and for being you. I'm so happy you're here. Yay.
I don't know what happened to her.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'm just grateful to be here. Actually, I would say that, Grace, you fell off my Facebook page. Occasionally, I see a post of the Northern Lights, and that's it. I don't know how. But if you can put me back on, I would love to be on it again.
Oh, I don't know what you mean by fell off, but I haven't.
You're not there anymore. I never see your post.
Yeah. I have not been all that active on social media for the last few months. I just decided to just stay grounded and quiet and take care of myself for a while.
Excellent. Good for you. Well, then I'm more than grateful that I'm here tonight, and no doubt we will connect again soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, June. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, a couple of people are asking about light language. So the day after Christmas, it's 2021, so 2020, 2019. So December 26, 2019, when I was taking an Epsom salt bath and I was in this space of gratitude, being grateful for all the gifts and all the friends and all the celebrations during the Christmas time, I suddenly started speaking light language. And then I was in the next thing I know, because I didn't want to forget it, I was like in the bath for like close to 3 hours speaking light language. So, and after that, I just started using it a little by little. So I've only known light language now for a year and uh, 4 months. Yeah. So it's kind of new to me, but it seems old now.
So Grace, does it come from, what place does light language come from?
Well, light language is within all of us. So um, our bodies have cellular memory of light language. Sound is what was used to create the world and us. So sound is what brings us back to our heart, and sound is what heals our DNA. Sound is what heals us, the tissues of our body, because sound can penetrate through walls, right? So our bodies respond to sound, it penetrates everything. And that's where I become more mindful of how I talk to people, even though I still use the F word, but but it's the energy that counts. Yeah. And the um there's kind of like 4 categories of light languages. There's galactic, which I think is what I speak because I'm Lyrian, Arcturian. I really resonate with being from Arcturus. I really resonate with being Arcturian. And someone told me that I'm also Lyrian. So Lyrian, Arcturian, and Andromedan. And there's also elemental light languages so that we can connect with the elements. Because as an alchemist, playing with the elements is really vital to the work of alchemy. There's angelic light languages for those of you who are especially close to the angelic realm. And then there's Gaia light language for those of you who may be grid workers or who may be here to channel the energies for healing different parts of Gaia.
Wow,
Well,
that's a precise explanation. That's very good, Grace.
thank you. Thank you.
And I know Lisa, our fabulous Lisa Jones from Travelers Rest in South Carolina, who's going to have a therapeutic tea shop in the near future, would like to say something. So I will ask to unmute you and go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, what do I have to say? That was beautiful, Grace, about the light language. I have silently to myself spoken light language, maybe to 1 or 2 other people, but it's not always the same. It sounds different. And sometimes I just use it for myself. And so I loved the way you described the light language, and even for the healing of Mother Earth. So that was a different view that was very nice to hear. And you're hilarious. I love you. So is Kenji. He's hilarious. And I am opening a tea shop here in Travelers Rest, South Carolina. It is called the Red Fern Tea House. And so I'm really excited. And it's something that I've long awaited to do. And it's just really a place for people to kind of have that moment to themselves. to just take a break out of their day and just have a little bit of love in their life.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, I wish you much success. I love that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So I will start speaking light language now. It may become my only language that I speak. So watch out.
Light language, and
Beware.
I love that.
Yeah.
The light language of tea. Lisa, that's awesome. The light language of tea.
Yeah, because those plants, man, they have some messages for you guys.
Oh,
That's for sure.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, we can go there and do ayahuasca together. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Or
try to
suishagas. Or some pearl sake.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Time for some more sake for me now.
All right.
Okay, I'll do my vodka.
All right. I love you guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye-bye. How do I gotta mute me, so.
Yeah. So, you guys, every single person has a couple light languages within them. I am not one of those people who subscribe to the thought that if you are a starseed, then you have this light language from starseed and that only these people can speak it. I just know, I really know on a soul level that we've all been here for so many lifetimes and we have so many callings that at this time, it's been revealed to us that light language not only is historical, but it's also futuristic because in the future, we will all be connected through vibration. And light language is communicating vibration through sound. So that all the human language, which carries with it so much sociological history, anthropological history, political history, that is usually divisive. All that's going to be done with because light language doesn't have all those divisive histories with it and whether it's sociological, economical, because I know sometimes like when I was in China, I speak a dialect that's considered a peasant's dialect. So I know how language itself can sometimes put you in a disadvantaged group, right? Because I was a peasant and I spoke a dialect that's commonly called a peasant's dialect. So I know about the politics of language. And I know that in the future, we are all here to speak with one another from a heart space. And that space of the heart, we don't always even need to speak. We just need to be the vibration of invitation and love and joy. And however we put sound to that vibration of us is fine. We all have it. And how we put sound to our vibration in order to connect to each other from a very heart center space that vibrates every cell in our being because we have cellular memory of light language. How we use sound to vibrate every cell in another person's being is how we co-awaken each other from a heart center. And we all have the ability to do that.
I think there's a caller that wants to speak on the phone. No name or number, though. I will ask to mute. Let me see. Oh, that's funny.
Golden. And you shall remain a mystery because that's embrace here.
Yeah, it's a mystery caller.
Mystery caller. You can hold sacred space for mystery. That's great.
155 is the last 3 digits.
Mute. Violet, you want to ask a question of Grace or share anything?
No, I was telling you the number there. 155 is the last 3 digits of the caller because it keeps flashing up here with the number.
Yeah, I got
It
it.
was so quick. So that's what it was. It was to tell you that 155 is the last 3 numbers of whoever's calling in.
Okay.
So Grace is tired listening to me, so she doesn't want to hear any more of my problems. I'll be talking to you tomorrow night, Grace, anyway.
No, that's great that you're here. Thank you for being here, Violet. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So I see is it Enteliki who has hands up. I see Enteliki.
Hello.
Word, by the way, Enteliki.
Do you know the word? I heard you use it before.
Yes.
It's a great word. It's Randy from New York.
Hello there.
Hi. As much as you already read the group, which was phenomenal, in your energy reading, it was really a deep reading too, not just a healing and an activation. There was this, you could really sense how you were going through the collective of the group and bringing to light and making light of some of the stuff that we could all take a step in evolution with. I'm asking about repairing my DNA, as we're all having an experience with these fluoroquinolones, how they alter our DNA, and so much is given to our livestock. There's no getting around it. But me, I'm trying to, I'm learning to repair my DNA from that chemical exposure, just taking an antibiotic, and it's been a painful near-death experience for a long time. As much as that's yielded so many profound wisdoms as far as the soul's journey, where can you go from there? Thank you. I love you.
Okay, well, thank you for your question. For all of you who may have some issues with antibiotics, I'm actually just going to tune into the appendix and then the biome and ask those parts of you to return and remember supportive biome in support of antibiotics, because your appendix makes its the body's own antibiotics, and it's considered a vestigial organ as soon as we discover penicillin or something. But I think your body wants to remember all those wisdom from before. So let me just tune into the frequency of that and deliver that to you in light language. Chinchumakshiko shikonarixtika, chinchumatrishko trishanova, nitopa kanokashiko, amokata kritiko, arena kotu shikakukaka, anoshkatuki, makatushika, tinotuka, titquatko, kangoki, okiko, shinoki, shikatko, aritikaka. And then remember your connection to Mother Earth. Tomakashi, kama, karakatu, ritikati, shikatkoka. Rakura Krishiko Arino Tinashiko Kinashikako Pichungako Kinoshiko Kano Ratina Fusinakati Skako Tanarashiko Tinashushika Tinoshiko Kanatiko Shikakakamatuka. But whatever, it's totally safe for you to be you on this planet now. Shishamashuati no Rashika no Shika no Shika no Shika no Shika no Shitanatikoti Shikako Rekanishiko. Rakotichi, Tonotichi, Kanakotichika. And also, what if none of you need to be the universal surrogates anymore? If you choose not to be. Timashkotanishaka, Manashikoti, Nashiko, Kanakuti, Tino Katori, Tishka, Koki, Nashiko, Nature, Katakotiko, what is good in it. Now I feel a big shift in your body. How are you feeling?
Yeah, all I came for and so much more. And for you to read that advanced possibility of, how's this serving me at this point as something to address is it's spot on. I can't, as much as I want it to be gone, I have to look at this other side of it too. And for you to pick up on that, it's quite beautiful and profound. Thank you for being you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your sharing and your courage. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Randy. Grace, in the last post, if you could respond to that, because that relates to the theme of this interview. It's from L, whoever L is, mysterious L.
Yeah, people, okay, recommend if someone can seem to find their passion and purpose. And I find that those who have the hardest time with understanding their own passion and purpose, Elizabeth, it's usually from a very early age, you have to give up your instinctual knowing, because instinctual knowing is part of who we are. And that comes, that's the foundation for intuitive wisdom, intuitive knowing. And I think that if you feel unsafe in who you are early in your life, then you're always going to be chasing after your passion and purpose and have all kinds of self-doubt. So I'm going to go back to the first 3-4 years of your life and see what needs to be clear up so that we can clear that. And then to ask your guides and angels to download for you the experience of safe bonding with a parent. And I get this insecure bonding. And she says, tears immediately. Oh, God bless you. And for anyone else on the call who may have the feel unsafe very early in life, where you have to give up your own instinctual wisdom because you have to, yeah. God bless you. And we're all going to do this group healing for you, each and every one of us. So thank you for being you, because your vulnerability and your exquisite courage allows all of us to awaken the healer within ourselves to support you. So I want everyone on this call for a moment to just tune into your heart and just imagine a flower in your heart where you're going to put in memories of being held and being safe. Your best memories of every sunset and every sunrise. Your best memories of every trip you ever have in life. Your best memories of any and all get together, because get togethers help you feel safe around people. And your best memories of being seen and heard. Put all that in this flower now, and we're going to collectively send it to Elizabeth's heart. So she, energy. Yeah, and anyone else. Oh, Nancy, bless you. So we're all going to send you that, the best of our memories in our heart. We're going to send all that to you. So you remember safety. Remember being held. Remember being held in this group, all of us holding you. We're going to send that into your heart, Nancy. As a whole group, we're going to do this for you. So we're going to send that flower of the best that we have in our heart's memories to you. To strengthen the field around your heart and allow your inner child to know safety now. And allow you to know what an exquisite, powerful, beautiful goddess of a woman you are, and how you are helping all of us to remember all that's divine and beautiful about being human, because you are activating that in all of us now. And I can't imagine a higher purpose than to support everyone to become their most divine self by being you. And I want you to know that's the gift that you are to all of us today.
That was beautiful, Grace.
Elizabeth, you're awesome. Nancy, you're awesome. Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is who we're all sending this to, right? Elizabeth. But I see Nancy's name too. But Elizabeth, we are all here for you because you, being you, give us all permission to be the healers that we are. And that's so divine that you are divinely guided to be the one to activate so much healing capacity in us, reveal all that's divine about being human. And I think that's just such a beautiful gift that you are.
Nancy?
Yeah, hi Grace. Wow, that was beautiful. How can I gain more energy? What blessing or whatever I'm supposed to ask? What are your options for having me gain more energy in my body? I would feel rather dead energetically.
I think being in nature, allow Mother Earth to heal you helps, especially around trees. And I really have to listen to that advice myself in the last couple months, because in the last couple months, I was going through a deep grieving process with a couple deaths in my life. And I felt so knocked out that I had to go out and just walk for an hour to an hour and a half each day to regain momentum in my life. Yeah.
Yes, you're right on. You're right on. I've been too addicted to webinars throughout this COVID period. And I'm a biologist and I love nature and I haven't gone out to nature. But what you're saying is right on. Thank you.
Thank you and many blessings, Nancy. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Nature walks. Okay, so someone's name starts with a C-A-R, wants help with romantic relationship.
That's Carol.
Okay. Yeah, so we did that on a Bagua too. And I'm just gonna say, actually, what if you don't need help? What if the right one will show up for you? And everybody else tells me this, when you're not looking, the right one will show up. And in the 5D, because I get that a lot of us who are, just so out there doing all these crazy things, it takes time for some of us to really and fully embody who we are, so that the person who's looking for us will be able to see us and find us. And so my best advice to you is keep on being you. Keep on being more of you, so that more of you is visible to the one who's looking for you. Gee, wasn't that profound? I should listen to myself again.
That's
Well, guess
hilarious.
what, Grace? I'll send you the replay.
And you're not even gonna charge me for it, huh?
No, this is a freebie.
You are so sweet. I love you. Thank you, Grace.
Here, thank you for being here. Mm.
For all you guys that maybe have just met Grace recently, I had probably at least 5 readings with Grace within the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. And I'm always amazed at what she says, because she says stuff like no one's ever said to me before. And she has that way. She has that gift. It's a rare gift. Not everybody can do that yet, but she just seems to like say stuff that, wow, I'll go, wow, never thought of that before. No one's ever told me that before. Have you gotten that feedback, Grace?
Yes, sir, I have,
Mm-hmm.
but not quite like what you just said.
Yeah, you just seem to pull it out of the quantum just really naturally.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I'll send you an invoice by PayPal. I charge for that one. So Grace, this is regarding moving through the earth changes, because everybody's core issues have come up, medical conditions, including myself, maybe getting the virus, maybe not, hurting your knee, or maybe not, unexpected stuff. So my question is, so when a core issue comes up and you get really stuck in it, and you got to keep moving forward, but maybe you procrastinate, or maybe you go into a level of depression, loneliness, or isolation. Besides going out in nature for a walk, what would you suggest for people?
I say this is the time where we can do. I know when core issues come up, it almost always has to do with healing the inner child, healing all the ancestral patterns that come up, or family patterns. I know they repeat. And when you feel the weakest is when we need to acknowledge our strength, right? We need to acknowledge how powerful we are to be in the space that we are, to have that awareness of what requires healing. Because there's people who go through lifetimes and don't seem to have that awareness. So I would spend some time acknowledging the strength that you are, the enormous amount of healing you had go through, and then the enormous power you have to embody all that's beautiful and divine about being human, and that you have what it takes to have the most profound breakthrough, because you always have what it takes to have the most profound breakthrough, so that when you go through the other side, you embody that enormous strength and wisdom that would allow you to contribute to others. So you are just doing your quantum homework, and acknowledge that you're going to ace that homework, even if you need to cheat and call somebody for help.
That's a good one. I like that.
That's what we're doing. I mean, sometimes I need to go to someone for help too, because I was going through stuff that just felt so god awful. So I need to strengthen the part of me that needs to ask for help, and also strengthen the part of me that just needs to tell people to F off, because there's people who just expect you to do so much and never recognize what you're already doing. Like someone that came up to me and said, so now you're this blah, 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 blah success on tele summits. What are you doing to help other Asian people? I'm like, what the F? Damn. I know that Asian people are going through so much right now. And she goes, why don't you speak up? Why are you not out there? It's like, oh dear God. Oh dear. Like, oh my God. You know, I, and I feel the gaslighting, and I feel so belittled. The gaslighting is that we're not speaking up when the truth is we're not even included. And that just tears me in the inside. I feel sucker punch when someone says, "Why don't you speak up?" Because it's a form of gaslighting that takes away my my personal agency, and undervaluing all that I contributed, and not seeing what a fucking sassy person I am, you know? It's totally not seeing me, and that knocks me up. And then I have to remind myself that yes, sometimes I do need to take time for myself. And if other people can't see that just being out there speaking is supporting the Asian community, you know, I don't have to be rioting out there to be supporting them. Support means being able to show up congruently. And I think I show up congruently. And those who want to just knock me down, I feel so knocked down a few days ago by the stuff that was going on. And then I realized, damn, I'm playing into the 3D things where people only see me through the limited paradigm of you know, racism and stereotypes and this and that. And I thought I'd gone so beyond stereotypes. What do you think?
You have, sweetheart. You have. You're so beautiful. I want to be like you. I want to grow up.
Thank you. Yeah, so the gaslighting that's going on. So I kind of know what you mean in a different way. You know, we all get knocked down sometimes. And so there are some days I feel like, oh, the next person I'm just gonna punch in the face. I can't hear you anymore. The next person who tells me to speak up and do something for the Asian people, I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay.
No, Grace, I have an idea, Grace. So you just tell them, you just invite them Asians to your next telesummit or your next podcast.
Well, I thought about that. I actually thought about that. And I also thought about inviting all the Asian uh, healers to do a telesummit, but I realized it's not about that. It's about everyone else being able to see us and make space for us, right? Because we've been excluded. So if we do something exclusive to ourselves, we're excluding. We are not holding space, holding common ground in the bigger spaces of life. And I think that I just want to acknowledge in each and every Asian person who is able to just stand out there and do their thing. Like you've been standing out there doing your thing way before all this for 5 decades at least, right? So for the last 5, 6 decades, you have to put up with people saying, what the F to you a lot, right? Especially family, right? What the F?
But you know, most of the time I forget my culture, my heritage. I don't ever really think about it, but if I look back in my life, and I was born after the war, so there was a lot of Japanese hatred, and I grew up in that environment. So I guess I just dealt with it. It wasn't a big deal, except when they would call me by names. Strangers would like drive by in a car. I'd be walking home from practicing basketball, and strange car comes by and these guys would yell at me, call me names. But I tell you, Grace, what really upset me is when they called me a chink and Tojo. You know, he was a general during the war. That really upset me. Otherwise, they would call me other kinds of names, and you know, it was okay. But especially when they call me a chink, that was like, isn't that funny?
Wow. Wow. So all that we, each and every one of us internalized, that's doing its
Yeah.
number on us right now. Where all that racism, all the
Hey, Grace, just think if we both grew up in the South, oh my God. Two more questions, and then Grace can end with a mysterious surprise light language prayer.
Yeah. Well, you know, I appreciate that we are all here to support one another and that people are able to receive me, you, us in so many ways. I feel very blessed that I have the alternative healing community who appreciates me and my gifts. I mean, without them, without all the people who support me, I wouldn't be able to be who I am. It's because they welcome me and support me that I get to be who I am too. Because, you know, the self is not just about going within. The self is a huge part of the self is relational, right? A huge part of the self is relational, and how we see ourselves and how others see us. It's beautiful to have other people see us so we can be strong together. Yeah, thank you, Kim. And Kim, I know that you are going through a lot, but you know, people who are strong sometimes get challenges. And I know that you're not given anything that you can't handle. So Kim Yin, I know that you got this totally. I know you've been going through challenges and you got this totally. And I see you coming through it in flying colors. And I think that in so many ways, just, you know, you being a speaker, me being a speaker, us doing our work in the world, we are already setting an example of how we can just embrace who we are, all that we are, not only our Asian heritage, but our galactic heritage and starseed heritage and all parts of ourselves that make people look at us and say, what the F? That is like loudly and clearly saying, we are strong and authentic, and we show people how to be strong and authentic. You know, I mean, sometimes we do get into stuff that's going on in the world, but you know, it took me a little bit to get over, but that's little bit just means a couple days to do some self-healing. It doesn't mean that I am held back. I don't think I'm held back. I am um, feeling stronger than ever. I just was knocked out a little bit because of other personal grief and grieving stuff that I'm going through. But really, on the whole, I'm feeling really good.
One more question from the audience. You can unmute yourself, or if you're on video, raise your hand.
How do you know grief is over? Stacy asks. Stacy, I don't know that grief is something you get over, but I feel like for myself, like physically, I am able to um, recover physically, but there's a part of me that is still grieving some things. And I don't know that it's ever over, but I come to this space of being able to really truly appreciate the people I lost and know that I communicate with them differently. their bodies are no longer here. I have some regrets about not being there for them when they needed me, but we will all have some of those regrets with people we love, because I come to realize that regret means we share a lot in this life together. Then grief means we share so much together that will still be there. And Stacy, stay strong. I know that you are strong, and I know that you will learn to honor how you yourself grieve, and that your dad is seeing you differently from the other side, and he chose to exit the way he did because that way of leaving the world allowed him to clear many, many lifetimes of stuff. So I learned after, a young friend of mine passed too after my grandma. And I learned that sometimes young people choose to have dramatic endings in the physical in order for them to be able to burn off more karma, so that as they journey into the next life, they will be able to ascend easier with the karma they burn off at the end. So whether the ending means dreadful illness, as one of my friends had to go through, or being murdered, those are ways that a soul can choose to leave this world burning a huge amount of karma so they can ascend. So as a soul, they know all the lifetimes they've been here, and they know what needs to be clear for the next journey. So your dad is journey on and receive his angel wings, what would look like a really hard way for us here. But in the higher realms, he knows that that's the way he needed to leave for the most karma to be burned off in the least amount of time.
Okay, Grace, we're ready for your spontaneous light language prayer
All right, all right. So
in
let's
whatever language that's going to come through.
thank you.
And then we'll end the call, and we'll thank everybody now for coming on the call and for participating. Thank you very much for your presence. And I know I speak for Grace as well. And thank you, Grace, for another lovely presentation. And we'll get together soon. We'll talk story.
Yeah. Thank you for having me for
Mhm.
this beautiful series that you introduced us to, dialogues with beautiful souls. And you have awesome people on. So, and I feel so privileged and honored to be invited on this series with you. And I'm grateful for all of you on this call, and grateful for all the awesome people who show up, all the beautiful healings. Elizabeth, many blessings to you for showing us how divine you are, that you activate what's divine and beautiful about just being human, and helping us to remember that, and that's such a beautiful gift. So I just want to close this by asking
Don't confuse
that
me.
I be able to download this prayer for all of you. This be the space of love, the space of joy in the world. Molako mako shikika, rakshuka komaki ko kenko kentachiko, lashamokore shamoka, komachiko, la coratinishuka, Agumakoshika mokorakishikama, richumaka, tomashikishimokoratina koshakanara kitga, harakanushukaramatokanashikakoneshikapatika. Mashako kenakato karatato kotieshitumaka la shamaki kumakato rashikatika Hamolaki, Komolaki, Konokatoshi, Kanakoraki, Tonakato, Tinashika, Parakatoshi, Nakoka, Tinashikika. So I'm really fond of this beautiful word from Cherry Claw, who is the wife of the wounded healer Chiron. And Cherry Claw in Greek means spinning grace. And I like the idea of spinning and weaving grace in the world so that we are all surrounded by grace, the love of God. And each and every one of us are weavers of light and grace in this world. And the light, the grace, the joy, the inspiration you all are, and that you all weave into the fabric of this world makes this world so beautiful. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for your part in weaving that which is love and beauty and joy and inspiration in the fabric of the world. Kano kachimata kora tano shikatori chikaku kamakura reneshiko pana katora tichikotka. Imona koneshiki kakumar kitkaka lakareshiko kakarati tukarkatika konakachikaka. So I honor and respect that which is the light weaver and the weaver of joy and love and inspiration in all of you. Shamarakona shikuma rasta, rikona rashamakato retka. Kamarakona shikona, Nikodori rashamakati, Tamara krishko, kanatuchi shikakorati tkaka. Hisho shishanato tinetiko, kanakaratiko ka, tinishkako, kanakatit, kanakotika. Rararoni shiku kana komakati neshika. Maraka ni kumaka, ni kue kaka masad. Nikoraka shikika, Nikorachiko, Nikorachi kumara konachika komakoto nishikaku kaka, Niko shiko kama, Amolakoda shikana, Rakanashiko kaka, Rakanoshi shikamoka kanishika, Inokate tinatishimaka, Tina shiki, Naruatni shikamalaka. Amo shishnisha maraka. Inchna karishika. Moraki kanishika. Arashtaka.